You remember when I shared the heartbreaking story of the Idaho murders? 4 innocent students whose lives were taken in a way that shocked the entire world. Many of you asked me, who was the man behind this? Today, with the help of detailed reporting from People.com, I'm going to take you deep into the life of Bryan Kohberger, the man at the center of this tragedy. From his disturbing habits to shocking evidence and even the unsettling details about his life after the crime, this story will leave you questioning how someone who studied crime so deeply could become the monster at the heart of one of the darkest cases in recent memory. Welcome to Life in Frames. Bryan Kohberger was a criminology PhD student at Washington State University. On the surface, he seemed like an ordinary graduate student. Serious, academic, even intelligent. But his classmates described something different. They remembered him as controlling in conversations, obsessed with proving he was smarter than everyone else, and fascinated by the psychology of murder. One classmate told investigators that Bryan openly wondered what it would feel like to kill and whether someone could get away with it. And this is where I pause and ask myself, was his education about crime really just research, or was it rehearsal? Investigators later searched his apartment and released over 500 evidence photos. They showed ordinary things: textbooks, graded assignments, neatly stacked papers, even birthday cards he had received just days after the murders. Can you imagine that? On the outside, it looked like the life of a hardworking student. But behind those walls, he was hiding a secret so dark it chills me to think how easily evil can mask itself in normality. One of the strangest details is what happened just hours after the murders. Less than 2 hours after fleeing the crime scene, Bryan made a call to his mother. And not just a short call, it lasted almost 3 hours. To me, this reveals so much. Was he trying to cover his tracks by pretending everything was normal? Was he desperately clinging to his family, even after destroying other families forever? Or was it part of his psychological pattern, seeking comfort while hiding unbearable guilt? As the investigation continued, police uncovered more of Bryan's disturbing behaviors. His phone contained troubling searches. His classmates noticed small injuries on him after the murders. And online, people began spinning theories. TikTok sleuths and internet investigators made life miserable for the victims' families and friends. Even the 2 surviving roommates faced cruel, baseless accusations, despite police clearing them very early on. One live feed even captured 2 of the victims buying food late at night, with a man in a white cap nearby. Internet users immediately dragged him into suspicion, but he, too, was cleared. This shows us the double-edged sword of social media. Sometimes it helps, but often it destroys innocent lives for views and attention. In court, another side of Bryan appeared. In a handwritten plea, he revealed he had recently been diagnosed with 4 conditions: autism level 1, OCD, ADHD, and ARFED. He insisted he understood what was happening and the consequences of his guilty plea. Was this a genuine disclosure, or a calculated move to shape how people viewed him? That's a question we may never fully answer. And then there's the bizarre contrast of his prison life. Bryan demanded vegan meals, complaining that his dietary needs weren't being met. Behind bars, on one level, it's a simple request, but when you put it beside the crimes he committed, it feels almost absurd. The same man who could commit such brutality was now worried about purity in his diet. That dark irony says so much about human contradictions. When his mugshots were released after sentencing, people noticed he looked gaunt and expressionless. He no longer looked like the arrogant student who thought he could outsmart everyone. He looked like a man swallowed by his own choices. And honestly, that image stays with me. The fall from confidence to emptiness, from believing he was in control to realizing he will spend the rest of his life behind bars. In the end, Bryan Kohberger pleaded guilty and received multiple life sentences. He will never walk free again. Some feel relieved. Others feel unsatisfied, wishing for a trial that could have explained why. And that, to me, is the most haunting part of this case. Despite all the evidence, despite all the reporting, we still don't know why he did it. Was it arrogance? Was it mental illness? Or something darker, something we may never be able to name? So I want to leave you with this question. What do you think truly drove Bryan Kohberger? Was he a man consumed by his own ego, a mind tormented by disorders, or simply a person who embraced evil fully? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more true crime stories where we don't just tell you the facts, but also reflect on what they mean for us as human beings, make sure to subscribe. These stories take hours of research and heart to create, and your support, your comments, your subscriptions mean the world. Together, we can keep these conversations